Hey guys, happy holidays. Bet you weren't expecting this face, especially solo. Some of you might know, or might not know, I am a bit of a critter, and that means that I really like Critical Role. And their new show that just came out, The Mighty Nine, I am, as of recording, the only member of the channel to have seen it. And I wanted to talk about it with you guys. So, solo review it is. Even though I'm very rusty at it, I will give it my best. Also, I'm reviewing a season as a whole, so it's going to get interesting. Also, because I have seen most of the campaign that it is based upon, I will be splitting this review into three parts. One is the non spoiler, then the show spoiler, then the campaign spoiler. So if you've not seen the campaign, but seen the show, you can watch up to this point. But if you haven't seen the show at all, just watch up to this point. I'm guessing that's where my hand was. Anyway, let's actually get into it with the non spoiler review. I love the show. Granted, I also loved Vox Machina, so I knew that I was probably going to like this. And Campaign 2 is my favorite of the campaigns so far, even though 4 is pretty damn good so far. But anyway, back to the show. I knew I was going to like it going into it, but I didn't know how much. Like, honestly, I feel like given time when both shows are over, this one might be better than Vox. Like, if we're judging on just season ones, then yeah. Even though I love Vox, but this one is more of a has more of a tonal consistency and a like slower burn, which with some shows can be a bad thing, but in here they handle it really well. Each individual character, they're slowly building their backstories, and we're getting to find out more about them. Some we know more than others by now, but even with that, we still don't know the full story about the ones that we do know the most about. The story overall fits the more political feel of the campaign, and we jump into that really quick to the fact where this show feels more Game of Thrones esque than Fox did, and we really delve into the political side of things because since this is a show and not a campaign, we do get to follow the antagonists somewhat, and we get to find out more of their ambitions and what makes them tick, and hints at where we're going to go with them, which is really cool to see. And I'm really liking it. The overall story is really cool. Like, I'm very interested to see where we go with how the overall story ended. It was definitely one of those situations where I'm like, what? That's it? There's not more? Anyway, I really like the show. It's got really good action. The animation is great. The comedy is really good and doesn't feel like disjointed or out of place. Most of it comes from the lovely Jester, and that is the point of her character, is to be the bright spot in this dark world, which was really cool. But she isn't the only source of comedy. There are a few situational comedy stuff that happens that is really cool. Tonally, never feels out of place. And the action, like I said, is great, animated well. They handle like giving the martial side its spotlight along with the magic. And that is sometimes hard to do, especially when you're even running a D&D campaign where it's like how do you juggle the martial characters with the magic characters? And I think this show is doing a really good job of that. And we still get the feel of the D&D esqueness without it being too blatant and obvious. But I still really like how they're handling it and how they're probably mentioned before, but slow burning the plot and like all the different character arcs, and there is just so much more to come that I cannot wait to see how it happens. I love the show. I would highly recommend it if you are a fan of fantasy, fan of animation, if you're a critter, if you're not a critter. Although, the thing that I will say is that this has the same amount of blood and gore as Fox, and this is not a kid show. But I would still highly recommend it if you are of age. All right, moving on to show spoilers. We got to start with the elephant in the room. Caleb's backstory. Oh my god, the way they handled it, it is so good. And I love that they didn't downplay it and like jerk his responsibility, because some shows, when you have a tragic backstory like this, they don't want your heroes to like not be heroes. So they'll give them a dark moment, but in the end, they'll have someone else pull the trigger. Not in Caleb's case. It is very interesting to see how they're handling it, and I am loving it. And it is so tragic, and I feel so bad for him and everybody involved in that story, except for Trent, which the way that they're handling Trent in this show and giving him more of a presence up front is really cool. And I am really liking like all the stuff that we get to see with Trent and how we find out that he is just a maniacal guy. He is very straightforward as opposed to Essek, who is an antagonist. I think you can say that by the end of the show that he is an antagonist. But we get where he's coming from. But also the way they end things with him, maybe going down villain road, like full straight up villain. That was a pretty dark thing that he did in the finale or the penultimate. But anyway, with the show only character Virat, that was really, and we'll have to wait and see like what happens with that and if he does go full villain. But all the characters, we get like a glimpse at them, but we don't get like their full story. Like Molly, what the is going on with Molly? They're sprinkling that in. Molly is one of those characters where they're clearly running away from their past, but in this situation, he doesn't know what the past is. He just doesn't want to know. But I think with Kree and Vess now knowing that he is alive, he might not have that option anymore. I already talked about Caleb. Jester, I like how they're handling the whole is the traveler really real? We don't know. Still to the finale where it heavily suggests that he is, but they don't still give us a definitive answer because she is still the only character that has seen him. So they're keeping that mystery going. What exactly is going on with Ford? We've gotten hints and seen a little, but we don't know the full story of. That'll be really interesting to see. I love his story in the campaign. I'll just say that. Not they're really slowly hinting at all the stuff with not, and I like how they're doing it. And it's bigger moments, but also more subtle moments, like when the waterfall hits her ear. That was really cool to see. Also, the overall story, just in general. Now they have the beacon, I guess, because Yasha doesn't seem like she's bad. That her control, her being controlled is on the fritz now, and she asked them for help. So, is she officially part of the team now? We don't know. Does the team actually have the beacon? We don't know. If they do, what are they going to do with it? We don't really know. For those that don't know, that ballroom like dance whole situation heist thing was all show only. It's not in the campaign. There are similar things that happen, but not like this. So we don't know where they're going next, and I'm excited for that because they are taking like changes from the campaign and like the overall story to tell like a better story, like with Yasha. Because in the campaign, I'll just say this: Yasha just starts with them because it's a D&D campaign. You have to have everybody start. Although her character didn't exactly make sense why she was there, she just was. But now we actually give her a reason to be there and like give her more of a full fleshed out story, even though that means sacrificing some of her screen time, a lot of her screen time in season 1. I'm liking how they're doing it so far and how they're doing everybody's story so far. It's just really great to see, and I can't wait to see where we go from here. But speaking about the campaign, now I'm going to jump into campaign only spoiler thoughts. Like, not campaign only, but spoilers for what's to come if you've seen the campaign. Words are hard. Anyway, oh, we got to talk about the biggest thing. Molly survived season 1. I, up until the finale, did not think that he was going to. But then I realized my, like, critter brain was turned off and my TV fan watching brain was turned on. And it's like, they are hinting hard at him dying. They're doing it a little maybe too much. So by the time of the finale, I did get to start to think that they're doing the red herring of hinting at he's dying so much that it's going to shock us when he doesn't. And I'm glad that he doesn't die because we'd see more of him with the team and we actually get to see him interact with Yasha, which I love their friendship in the campaign. And speaking about friendships in the campaign, Captain Tusktooth and Bo, they've slowly started that. And I really like how they're handling it. They had that scene in the spa together, but it's only going up from here, and everything that they're doing is like slow burns to like friendships and relationships and even character stories like Ford. I think that scene with him in the temple was a hint at him being the future paladin, and that'll be really interesting to see because I love that story of him like denouncing Ukatoa and taking up the Wild Mother and being her champion, but also having that like time where he wasn't like anyone's champion and he was kind of classless for a moment. That was really funny. I wonder if we'll get a hint at that. We did get a hint at other things though, like the dust of deliciousness. And also the fact that Jester and the gentleman bonded over smut with any other character but Jester. I feel like that's would be awkward, but I'm loving how they're slowly building things, like not hinting at that she has a child or lost a child, not actually coming out and saying Luke or saying that Yeza was a alchemist that she knew, but not like going into full detail with it. They're slowly building everything, and I am loving it. Like, even Yasha's backstory, they hint at it. And even characters that we know a lot about now, like Caleb and Bo, we still don't know the full story behind them. Like, it looks like this might go more into detail about Caleb's time in the institution, which, if you know, there's still a character that we have yet to meet from that backstory, which, seeing how they adapt her will be really interesting. And then also Bo. Bo, we know a lot about, but the Lionette family twist they only revealed in the finale. And to see her with her daddy issues and her mommy issues, but mostly daddy issues, that's going to be interesting to see. I keep saying that. Sorry. I'm just really excited and really rusty at reviewing. I hope you don't mind. So I'm just going to end it there and stop myself before I get too much into a loop. I will say that if I was to rate this out of 10, though, I will say that I think there is still Regency bias and Critter biased, and maybe I'm fighting too much against that, but I think for as of right now of recording, which is still fresh off the finale, I think I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's not a perfect 10 out of 10, but I still loved it and is one of my favorite TV shows of the year. I cannot wait to see where we go from here. Thank you for watching. I don't know when the next time you'll see me solo is, but it was nice to see you guys again. So let me know in the comments. You like seeing me solo? What do you think of the show? Are you a critter? Are you not a critter? If you are a critter, don't put any campaign spoilers in the comments for anyone that hasn't. Especially also my co hosts who haven't even seen the show yet, but sometimes check the comments. That's all for now. Till next time. Peace.